Hello students, today we are going to do the second part of the chapter Language of Chemistry. We will be mostly dealing with chemical equations. So let us begin. Before we go to understand what is chemical equations, let us just recap what we should know about chemical formula. That is, what is the importance or significance of chemical formula. You can see the elements or ions that make up the compound, we come to know about them with the help of a chemical formula. For example, if I write NaCl, that is the formula of sodium chloride, then I come to know that sodium and chlorine are the two elements which make up this compound. I can also come to know about the chemical name of the compound. It tells me the proportion or the ratio of the atoms of different elements in the compound. Also, it tells about the molecular formula of the compound. It can be calculated, like if I know that sodium is 23 and chlorine is 35.5. These are the molecular mass. So I can add them and get the molecular mass of the compound. That will be 58.5. So this is the importance of chemical formula. Now today's main focus is chemical equation. Now, to write a chemical equation, we need to know the chemical formula. So, what is a chemical equation? So, let me explain you. A chemical equation is written for a chemical reaction, which is representing the process which is happening when the different chemicals are reacting and some product is formed. So, in this, we are having some substances which are reacting together that are called the reactants, and the output or the result of that is a product. It may be one product or more than one product. So that equation, chemical equation, can be represented in two forms, as you can see, word equation and chemical equation. The word equation is in which we write the complete equation in the form of words. Like for example, sulfur plus oxygen reacts to form sulfur dioxide. That's the word equation. If the same thing I want to represent in form of a chemical equation, I will write S, sulfur, plus oxygen, O2, reacts to form SO2, that is sulfur dioxide. So how can I define a chemical word equation and a chemical equation? Word equation is a word reaction in a chemical, where a chemical reaction is expressed in words. It's a chemical equation, and we are not using any formulas here. In a chemical reaction, it is a symbolic representation of the chemical reaction in which the reactants and products are expressed in terms of the chemical formula. So this becomes a chemical equation and this becomes a word equation. Now again, the chemical equation can be balanced and unbalanced. So now let us understand what is balanced chemical equation and an unbalanced chemical equation. In a balanced equation, it is the one in which the number of atoms involved in the reactant side is equal to the atoms in the product side. For example, here you can see that one atom of sulfur and two atoms of oxygen is giving the product as one atom of sulfur and two atom of oxygen, which is forming a product here or a compound, sulfur dioxide. So this is a balanced equation. And in this unbalanced equation, it is the one in which the number of atoms of the reactant is not equal to the number of atoms in the product side. So as you can see the reaction here, I have written hydrogen plus oxygen gives water. This is a very common reaction, you might have already been knowing about it. So here if you see, the hydrogen is 2 and oxygen is also 2. But in the product side, the hydrogen is 2 but oxygen is 1. So what do I do to balance this? So we'll be learning how to balance the equation. So here the number of reactants in the atom side is not equal to the number of atoms in the product side. So let us learn how to balance the equation. I have taken some examples here for you. For example, magnesium plus oxygen forming MgO, magnesium oxide. So here if you see, the number of magnesium is 1, the number of atoms of oxygen is 2, but here magnesium is 1 and oxygen is also 1. So we need to increase the number of oxygen in the product side. So if I write a 2 here, the magnesium atoms will be 2, and the number of molecule of magnesium oxide is 2, and 2 magnesium atoms and 2 oxygen atoms are there. But now if you see again, magnesium becomes unbalanced in the reactant side, so I can put a 2 in front of the magnesium. So here the magnesium now is 2, oxygen is 2, and in the reactant side also 2 magnesium and 2 oxygen atoms. So this becomes a balanced equation. 2 Mg plus oxygen gives 2 MgO. So our main purpose of balancing equation is to get the number of reactants equal to the number of the atoms of both the sides should be equal. And then in the next equation, H2S plus the chlorine gives HCl plus sulfur. So to balance this, let us just write all the elements so that it becomes easy for us to keep a track. The left hand side elements, that is the reactant, will count, and the right hand side elements will count in the, that is the product atoms. So here hydrogen is 2, sulfur is 1, chlorine is 2. Here hydrogen is 1, chlorine is 1, sulfur is 1. So you can see here in the product side, all the products, hydrogen, chlorine, all of these atoms are having 1 number. So let us increase them. We cannot decrease, so we have to increase. So hydrogen, if I put a 2 here, this 2 here, the number is known as a coefficient. So when I put 2, this becomes 2, and the chlorine is also affected, so this becomes a 2. So if you can see now, right hand side is balanced with the left hand side, so both are balanced. So now this becomes a balanced equation. I can write it again, completely balanced. This is the simple hit and trial method which we are using to balance. I'll show you one more example for better clarity. Suppose the equation is KClO3, KCl, potassium chlorate giving potassium chloride plus oxygen. So again, you can, if you want, make the table, or you can do it directly as you feel easy. So chlorine, here potassium is 1, chlorine is 1, oxygen is 3 atoms. Here potassium is 1, chlorine is 1, oxygen is 2. Now 3 and 2, we cannot make 3 as 2 or 2 as 3. So the best way is to take the lowest common multiple of these. So 3 and 2's lowest common multiple is, least common multiple is 6. So how do I make 3 as 6 and 2 as 6? By multiplying 2 into 3 and 3 into 2. So if I put a 2 here, the chlorine will become 2, the potassium will become 2. But now here if I put a 3, this becomes a 6 here, and this becomes a 6 here. But chlorine and potassium is not balanced, so we need to make it 2, so we put the coefficient 2. So now that becomes 2, 2, 2, 2 chlorine, 2 potassium, 2 oxygen. So the balanced equation is 2 KClO3 potassium chlorate giving 2 molecules of potassium chloride and 3 molecules of oxygen. So I hope you might have understood how to balance some simple equations. Now what is the information that we get from the following equations? You can learn about the reactants, so you can see and know that yes, these are the reactants in the reaction, these are the products formed, how many atoms are there in the reactant and the product side, and also the number of molecules can be easily known. But there are certain limitations, like it does not tell the physical state. So to remove this limitation, we can use the S, L and G. That is, we can represent the solid state as S, the liquid as L, and the gas as a G. And then it also does not tell the condition for the reaction. So we can mention the condition over the arrow, like when we are writing a reaction. Suppose I am writing that nitrogen reacts with hydrogen to form ammonia. These all are in the gaseous state, and there is a reaction condition necessary, that iron is required for 450 degrees Celsius. Iron is the catalyst, and for 250 atoms. So if I balance, it will be like something like this, and all are in the gaseous state. So I can give the condition over the arrow, and here it is showing the reversibility sign, means the condition can be reversed. Also, it does not tell about the rate of the reaction, like how fast or slow it will be. Also, the color of the reactants and products cannot be known. So these are certain limitations. So by this, I hope you are able to get some idea about what chemical equations are, what are balanced and unbalanced equation, what is the information we get it from them, and what are the limitations of the chemical equations. Thank you.